Hi, welcome. I am Danae Shanti, and you have landed at the very last show of Gather, Love, Thrive. Thank you for riding along with me through all of these episodes. Today, my very special guest is Maria MacAndrew, who also happens to be the publisher of my new book, Wise Inside. Before we get to know Maria, I want to give a shout out to New Thought Media Network and Rev Brez for having had Gather, Love, Thrive on his network. The link to make a donation to New Thought Media Network is on the screen. Please send some love in that direction. I'd be very grateful for that. Maria comes to us from Ecuador, and sometimes in the little village where she is, the internet is wonky. So we have the lovely Maria with headsets on today. Maria, welcome.
Hi, Danae. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. What an amazing ride we've been on, huh? Just incredible. Maria started off learning about the hero formula from working with me on publishing and editing the book. And so that was a few months back when we started. And now she's got the hero formula so integrated in her within that now she just goes on automatic pilot. So well, I wanted you to share a little bit, Maria, about, if you can, maybe how you would process before, how you would come to things before the hero formula, and how you notice yourself operating now.
Well, thank you, Danae. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Yes, I have had such an interesting time working with you and working with the hero formula. And it has really been a transformative journey. Working with the hero formula now, let's start with before. Before I had the hero formula, I used to be very stressed out. I like to get things done, but it would stress me out so much. And so as a result, I'll have so many things on my hands and so many things on my head. So trying to juggle this, trying to juggle that, come with solution, and it's not working out, stressed out, sleepless nights. It was a whole lot of that. Mm-hmm. And with that, stressing other people as well. Like working with my team was a stress, because when I stress, then I stress them too. I push them harder because I'm stressing. I need to get things done. But once I started working with the hero formula, all that changed. The first thing, Danae, that the hero formula taught me is that it's better for me to surrender. I love surrendering. That has been one of the greatest lessons I learned from the hero formula. Talk about surrender, right?
Yeah, it's all about surrender. But clarify what you mean, because some people get nervous when they hear the word surrender. Some people interpret that as giving up control to someone else. Can you speak about that a little?
Beautiful. Surrender, for me, is understanding that the great I am presence is alive in me and within me. I am is within me. And so by understanding that, I now surrender to that internal I am process, which is wiser than me, which is wiser than my environmental conditioning. So surrendering is not giving away power to some external force. Yeah. It is going back within and finding that power within, that person, that voice that is wise inside. So when I say surrender, I'm surrendering to that voice that is wise inside.
Yeah. And how does that change your experience of all this workload and all these deadlines and all this stress? How does that dynamically shift you?
Firstly, now that I understand that the voice that is wise inside is connected with my higher soul, higher person who's connected with my higher purpose, I know that I am here to have experiences and to have fun. Yeah. So that's my starting point. Maria, you're here to have fun.
Yes, yes, yes. My guides, Thea, always talk about entertain yourself. You're here to be entertained, so entertain yourself, meaning, have fun with your human incarnation. It doesn't have to be all like intense and serious all the time. They're always calling me out on that.
Yeah. It's not there.
Yeah, so you start there, and then that changes your work environment with your staff.
Absolutely. Completely changes the work environment, because I understand that now everything that I do, if I'm surrendering, it is God directed. It has a purpose behind it. And the universe is backing its success already. So I don't have to stress hard about something succeeding. I need to just surrender. So when I wake up in the morning, I say, so what do we have to do today? Okay, we have this book that needs to go out in 3 days. Great. What is the purpose? Then we surrender to God. God, this book belongs to you. This is your message. It's not my message anymore. It's not my brilliance. My brilliance belongs to you too. So I surrender. And everybody you have brought to me is brought to me for that purpose of supporting me in this work.
Yes.
So they're the right person. So now, Danae, I trust my higher self enough to know that even the people that I chose, I made the right choice. So I don't second guess them. I don't doubt them. Mm-hmm. I know that what comes from within me is what is connecting with what comes from within them.
Yes. So your whole modality, how you approach your life is now from the inside out. The wise inside is informing you every step of the way and showing you a perspective on things that I always like to say the eagle's point of view is our higher self with a God mind, seeing the bigger geography, can see everything, versus our human intelligence, not to put down our human intelligence, but our limited ego function human mind, which is like the turtle against the rocks. Like, this is all I see and I'm banging my head against it and now I'm in anxiety. So you're living more consistently from the eagle's point of view is what I'm hearing.
That's correct. And one miracle that has come out of that, there are some things that I don't even get to ask people to do or get to ask from people. I'll give you an example.
Yes.
Using the hero formula.
Okay, great. Because we were going to go there next, but I love it. Let's dive in the pool.
Yeah. That's what happens, right? You're thinking about something because you're so connected from within. The other person is thinking about it too. It happens automatically.
Yes. Yeah.
I was thinking about moving to a new home. I had a predicament. I needed a bigger home, and my son comes to visit me. My nephew is almost like my son, comes to visit me, and I needed him to have more space and that he will enjoy when he's here. And I felt like my current home was not conducive. So that was my predicament.
Okay.
And so I go back to the hero formula and say, okay, Maria, what is your predicament? Like, okay, I need a bigger home. Who am I at the moment? Who am I at this time? Like, okay, I am a caring auntie who enjoys having her nephews here at home and who enjoys seeing them having enough space and not having to stress anybody when we have to think about sleeping arrangements.
Yeah.
And so what is the predicament? The predicament is I need a bigger home.
Yeah.
Then I go back and I ask my guidance. I ask the universe for help. God, I need a bigger home. I don't know if it's easy for me to find another home around here with the same type of surroundings, but I'm trusting. And I go and visit a friend. And immediately, that voice just said, go visit a friend. I don't visit people often.
Because I have friends in your village and they only just met you recently and you've all been living there for about a year.
Exactly.
So you got the guidance to go visit a friend. That's how your voice is wise inside responded. It's like, go visit a friend. And you're like, what? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I go visit a friend. As I come out, I see a beautiful, huge house being renovated. Something says, go inside. And I'm thinking, I don't know the owner. I don't know anybody in there. What if they think I'm crazy? Or But this voice just says, go inside. And I go inside, I meet a guy, he's a builder, he doesn't understand English, and he immediately says, no, go inside, go and see.
Welcome to this construction project. Wow.
I look at the house, it's the perfect house. It's the perfect size. Everything is perfect. I stand on the balcony, I feel at home.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. So naturally, before, I would have been stressing, calling everybody, looking at listings and trying to find a home, but I did not.
Yeah.
I just followed that voice, go visit a friend. And I found the home.
Yeah. So you found your next home.
Yes.
Just like that.
Just like that.
See, and I love this story, and this is what I'm hoping our book can help, it's written how to do what you're saying, because when we line up with our higher self, our God spark, the whole universe, first of all, the universe is always for us all the time, and we know this. When we line up, so we are congruent, then we're opening the doors and saying, welcome in, show me, and demonstrate in the physical plane. And it always happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen the way we think it's going to happen. Sometimes it does. And sometimes it's just a big surprise like yours. So you're on automatic pilot now, because we spoke before we started recording, and I said, let's go through a hero formula with some challenges you had. And you're like, well, to be honest with you, I'm living in the hero formula all the time now, so I don't really have anything to do on this show. So then we decided, well, let's have you tell a few stories of how you are working it and how it's working for you. So I love that. And yay, you have your new home. Yay.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Do you have a, let me take a pause and just speak the steps so that our viewers understand. The hero formula is a 7-step process for connecting with the voice that's wise inside, which is your intuition, your God spark, your divine, whatever you choose to call it. And there's 7 easy steps to connect with that guidance, that intuition, and live with confidence. And as you could see with Maria, it's easy to live in confidence when you're being guided from the eagle's perspective, who's like, go over there and you'll get your needs met, So the steps are, who are you at the time? What is your predicament? How do you ask the universe for help? How do you receive your guidance? What choices do you make from, sometimes our guidance offers us a smorgasbord of ideas. What choices do you make? Because your free will matters. What action do you take to show yourself in the universe? You're standing for yourself, you're taking an action, and what results do you get? And the results sometimes are the internal results, because you've gone through a transformation, you've had a paradigm shift for how you now move through reality, and always there are external results as well. The external results sometimes are immediate, as in Maria's case, or sometimes they come down the road a bit. So those are the 7 steps of the hero formula. Now we're all on the same page together. So do you have another story you can share with us about how you did this on your own, which is my great hope for everybody?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
This morning, when I was going through getting a predicament that we can go through together, and tell you what, I found a lot. Because we are always going through solving challenges, going through other obstacles and finding another solution. So I had a challenge this morning, and I needed to hire an additional person. The person who's presented to me is way far back in South Africa. And I am only slowly learning now, having the experience of working with a remote team. Mm-hmm. Traditionally, you want to work with everybody close to you, see what they're doing, and connect with them physically. Yeah. And so I'm learning to work with people that are far.
Yeah.
So I have a predicament. I need somebody to join the team. Right now, I have a lot of work to do. And I feel that if I don't get somebody to help me, I'll get to a point where I cannot cope very soon. At the same time, the person who's interested in this position is far. And I might never get to meet them. I'll have to work with them remotely. Yeah. So I wake up this morning and I thought, this is what I'm going to talk to you about. And what is the predicament? while I was listening to my guidance, while I was trying to get the predicament, immediately that voice inside said, "You think you have a predicament?" I'm like, "What?" "Remember what I taught you. Everybody that comes to you because they connect with you on the purpose. So that connection can be remote, it can be physical, but it does not change the fact that God, the universe, is bringing them to you to help you for that particular purpose."
Who you were at the time, if I can claim this, who you were at the time was you own your own business. And as the director of your business, you were a woman who owns your own business who needed another staff member. Your predicament was you like your staff to be close so you could stay connected in the heart, see what they're doing. And the person presented to you was far away. You asked the universe for help. As you were going through the steps, your guidance took the last steps and went, "Don't even bother. Here's your answer."
Yes.
The whole thing got faster.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of the process, because the more we use it, the 7 steps tend to fold themselves down into, excuse me, "Oh, I have a question. Oh, here's the answer. Well, what happened to the 7 steps?" Right? It's like lightning fast. I love that. Well, and I want to share, our journey together, because it's been an amazing ride working with you to bring our baby forward. Oh. I have never written a book before, and I wanted the best. I just wanted the best person to help me bring it out into the world. And so I went to a few of my girlfriends and I asked them, who's your publisher? Who did your publishing and editing and, all that stuff. And I used the hero formula after asking these several girlfriends, and I kept being pointed to you. It was like, you have to go with Maria. You have to go with Maria. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to pay Maria? Because we all need to be paid for our good works in the world. And I had no idea. I had no idea. And the voice that's wise inside kept saying, "Say yes to her. It will be handled. Just say yes to her. It will be handled." And I remember sending you an email saying, "I've got this book project and, would you look it over and then send me your package rates and, let's see what happens." And the whole time I'm like, "How am I going to pay her? How am I going to pay her?" And the guy just kept saying, "That's none of your business. Just connect with her. Just say yes." And then we had this beautiful rapport, and then the money showed up and all was well. And we've been going ever since. Not only that, we've deeply bonded and discovered this whole world and a whole future ahead of us that incorporates your joy and your skills and gifts and talents and your vision and mine and my whole adult career life. I have never had a producer to take me out there, right? I've had everyone and everything but a producer to say, "Hey, you're an inspired speaker, you're an author, you're a singer, you're a keynote. Let's put you out there. I will do it." And that's what you said. And when you said that to me, you said you had a vision that you always wanted to do something like this at this scale now. And when you told me that, I was like, and I've been dreaming of you forever, because producing your own self is hard. When you're an artisan, you can deliver the work. The marketing of the work and the producing of the work is difficult. So that was a surprise for both of us that, there's this whole other level opening up. And when we say the universe is for you, it's much bigger than we even can conceive of.
Much bigger than we can conceive. I'm getting emotional as you speak, Danae. I hope I don't mess up this
makeup.
The makeup, because I'm getting emotional realizing from your words that when we listen to that voice that is wise inside, then we are led to even the bigger things that the universe has prepared for us.
Yes. So many people who are on the discovery path. Maybe they're not there yet discovering all of their ability from their divine through their human, will be delighted to find that internal God spark knows exactly what it wants to deliver through them. And you said the perfect word at the beginning, the surrender. As we surrender, then we become vessels and we get filled up and spilling over, and all the good works come out into the world because we've said yes, even if we think we don't know what we're doing. And I want to bring this up because it came up with someone the other day, and I thought that's a brilliant thing to mention. Most of our acculturation, now I don't know if this is true with you because you grew up in Africa. Okay, so I don't know if this is true in your experience. It's very much in the Western culture, not enoughness. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'm not this. I'm not that. I can't. I'll never get there. I haven't studied enough. And we get impregnated with these thoughts that are so untrue. And part of connecting with the God spark is peeling those onion layers off. What was it like for you growing up, and what's your experience with that kind of thinking?
Two things. You making me so emotional today. I don't know if I will be able to get through today.
It's not on purpose. It's just how we connect.
Yeah, this is the thing. Not enoughness. For me, maybe I had a little bit of an advantage in that I grew up with a lot of disadvantages. One of the things that I grew up with was vitiligo. You can see I am blessed with being black and white at the same time. And so as a child, when I realized that I was different, at that time, nobody knew what vitiligo was. Not even my parents, even some doctors did not know what it was. No, even the children at school, I was probably the only person they'd ever seen who looks like that.
Yes.
And so I realized that I was different, and I had to always try and, do other things, know that I'm good at some other things. Even if I'm different, I need to show the world that I'm good at this, which has been good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then I never had to deal with not enoughness as a child, because everything I tried to do was to compensate for my differences.
Yes. Yeah.
Then as an adult, what you said right now, that some people think that because you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't know this, you're not educated this way. I had a chat with my assistant last night about the same thing. I said, look, in all honesty, if we can look at ourselves from the eyes of the world, I don't consider myself a good writer. I don't consider myself a skilled person. I don't consider myself very learned. But there's one thing that I've noticed, what you said. When we connect with that God spark, then we trust the God spark to lead us to the next step.
Yes.
I might not have the answer for the next step, but then the God spark, for example, I'm not an editor. I tell people all the time, people say, the book is well edited. And I'm saying, I'm not an editor.
I have proof.
I'm not an editor. I am not. All I do is I listen to the God spark, the voice that is wise inside. God, guide me. This book needs to be edited. You said whatever we do it with excellence. I know I'm not skilled enough to bring that excellence about. I'm not learned in the area of editing. What should I do? And I get guided. This person is the right person to edit this book. Yeah. Then I connect with other editors. We work together. So it's almost like driving down a bend. I just have to trust that when I reach the next corner, I will see further. That's all I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I don't know right now is irrelevant.
I love how you're saying that. That's so brilliant. What we don't know right now is irrelevant, because when we listen, we're given what we need to know as we need to know it. It's beautiful. I want to explore a little more about who you are in the world today and what everything is you're offering, because you're going to be, I don't know if it's separated, but I know you're working on a platform. Can you share so that our audience understands the greater scope of how you're showing up in the world and what your service is?
Yes. So what I basically do, Danae, is strategy and business. I always say that I started my first business at 7 years old. That's the other thing, because my mom did not have enough money to take me to school. So I remember a story I wrote about Christmas. My mother could not afford to buy us a Christmas meal. Mm-hmm. So the only way I could have a Christmas meal was if I helped my mother. So she used to sew. And I learned how to sew and knit at age 7. Mm. I learned how to go door to door, house to house, selling bras, panties, and little skirts that my mother made.
Wow.
Wow. So from age 7, I've been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And my mom taught me, this is what you need to do. I'm giving you this sack of nuts to sell. I bought it for $10. You have to count how many cups you get out of. Make sure I get my $10 back, and whatever remains, then you guys can have a Christmas meal.
Wow.
So as a child, I learned the concept of entrepreneurship and profit, making sure that whatever you do, you get your expenses out, then you get profit. And from that profit, you would say, okay, now, if you need to make it grow, make sure that you take half of it, you give me, so I buy you your own bag of nuts, and then half of it, you use it. Mm-hmm. So the business grows.
That's brilliant that you got to do that at that young age. But, you have a very old soul. So you probably set that up for yourself so you could have the experience.
Right? I agree with you. So what I do now is, when we were talking about all these experiences that we had together, mm-hmm. It's dreams and visions that I had, messages I've always wanted the world to understand, to learn. And when I met you, I found somebody who already had all those resources, mm-hmm. who's teaching all those ideals, all those things I wish I knew how to teach, but I don't know how to.
You live them, living them and teaching them. Sometimes, you're in the practice, but putting it in language to be able to teach it is a different thing. It's a different experience. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So what I do is I strategize. I help artists, writers, business people grow their businesses and make a profit from their skills and talents so that they can grow, right? They can expand. And touch and reach more people. So one of the things that we're doing right now to make sure that our authors, artists reach more people is we're creating platforms, because the world is changing.
Yes.
Everything is becoming digital. We can't take you to a stage in South Africa right now because of COVID.
Yeah.
So we are creating platforms where we can connect buyers and sellers, authors and readers, and a whole network of people to support the work of artists.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do you, this show is going to come out in August. And if you have the platform up and the links up, we'll include that at the end of the show so people can go and peruse and learn and see how they can contribute and participate. What was in your heart? What was in your heart when that vision came to you? What was your motivation?
We are talking about this vision of putting out. My motivation was that I am a servant of servants.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And my motivation was, a lot of people are going through the challenges, not knowing how to get out of them. A lot of people are being taken advantage of, because if you look at marketing right now, I'm going to get emotional again because this is an issue that really touches my heart. If you look at marketing right now, you realize that it is targeted at the most vulnerable, mm-hmm. the most gullible. People who want to make extra money, people who want to make a living, who want to survive, who want a job. All that marketing is targeted at them. They are vulnerable. And buy this, enter here, do this so that you can change your life.
Yeah.
But personally, when I was on that red race when I was in South Africa, but when I left that red race, I realized that the work starts from within. Mm-hmm. Working with the Hero Formula, working with similar books, the journey starts within. And from within, I'm able to connect with the rest of the resources that the universe already has for me. But now there are people like me who are vulnerable as well, who need to make an extra income. Maybe their marriage is not working or their children are not, well, there's something going on in their families or in their lives. Mm-hmm. And they are bombarded with this information that your solution comes from outside. I've got the solution. I've got the solution. I've got the solution. And they pay lots of money for that, get nothing in return.
Yes.
That, Danae, was a very painful thing for me because I had lived that life. Mm-hmm. I had attended multiple courses, went through so many channels, and still inside I was empty.
Yeah. Oh.
So that is my motivation, that if more people can find that information, can find the Hero Formula, and learn to live from inside instead of living from outside, then we are bringing real solutions to the world.
Yeah. Wow. Beautifully said. Thank you so much for articulating all of that. I'm so excited for your vision, and I'm so excited to be part of your vision. And I see, why we were brought together, because all my years out there since 1987 has always been about turning people to their inner voice, to listen and get the answers in here, and not the seduction of the outside. And that's what you stand for. And so we were plucked together. I love that. So we had such rapport that a half hour has actually gone by, and we need to wrap up so that we honor the time slot for New Thought Media Network. So thank you so much for being my guest. And this is our very last show of this kind for Gather, Love, Thrive. And who knows what you and I are going to come up with next.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And to everyone else, usually I end the show saying, please give a donation to New Thought Media Network. We want to give them some love. Their donation link is on the screen. And if you want to get your hands on Wise Inside physically, there are actual physical copies. You could also download the on your Kindle. And we're going to put Maria's info on the post roll so you can know how to get in touch with her. And there's lots of goodies at DanaeShantiThrive.live. You'll see that link in a moment as well. Thank you for spending all this time with me and learning the Hero Formula along with me. And from Maria and I, we just send you all blessings for a wonderful, wonderful life. Thanks for being with us.